What's up, guys? The Nearsighted Gamer here, and I'm finally bringing you my Saints Row 4 re-elected video review. Sorry it took so long, but this being my first review, there were some things that I didn't think would happen, some unforeseen problems, and just me being a little bit lazy. But I have it now, and it's here for you guys, so enjoy it. First, a little backstory. Saints Row 4 Re-elected is my first Saints Row game that I played. I haven't played 1 or 2, and I played only a little bit of 3. But I know the characters, and I know enough to not be lost with what's going on. I know about them being a gang and everything, and I know what the series is known for, usually. It's craziness, it's over the top, antics, and all kinds of things like that. I'm aware of all of that, but I won't be able to make any comparisons to previous games because I haven't played any of them. So, with that out of the way, on to the review. Saints Row 4 Re-elected is the PS4 remake, HD remake of Saints Row 4 from the PlayStation 3 and 360. And it also contains 2 DLC that were released on the PlayStation 3 as well, End of the Dominatrix and How the Saints Saved Christmas. The story in Saints Row 4 is that you, being the leader of the Saints, have become president. They elected you president. And during your term, aliens invade Earth.
Hello, humans. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time for fear, but a time for celebration. Today, the best and brightest among you will find salvation within the Zin Empire.
Yeah, that should let you know what you're in for already with Saints Row. Alright. Aliens invade Earth and they attack the White House during a press conference that you're having. And they're invaded by this alien race called the Zen and their leader, Zeniac. He begins abducting people and putting them into their own virtual computer simulations, which which is his way of putting them in their own individual prison. So he starts abducting everyone. He gets your friends one by one. You watch them get taken, and then after a brief stint of you trying to take him on face to face, you fail. Spoiler alert. He gets you as well, and he puts you inside of yours. So your goal and what you're trying to do is escape from your simulation and free your friends so that you together can go and take down Zeniac, free the Earth from his oppression, and save everyone. That's the goal. You have your characters from previous Saints Row games. You have Pierce, Shandi, Kenzie, and of course Johnny Gat. But you also have Keith David as your vice president. And you have Ben King, who is from, I think, Saints Row 2. I don't know much about him, but I get the gist of it from playing this game. And yes, you have to go through and rescue your friends from their personal simulations. And once you've done so, you make your way towards defeating Zeniac. It's an open world type game along the lines of Infamous or GTA. In fact, the way I would describe it would be GTA with humor. I know there may be some humor in GTA, but it's not meant to be funny. It's meant to be serious and more realistic than anything. But this has those aspects, but also has a ton of humor in it, so that you can't take everything so seriously. You can laugh every now and then, because you're going to. There's so many things that you wouldn't expect that happen, different types of weapons, things you might see missions you have to do that you wouldn't expect from a game like this, but they're all in there, and it's great. The story, I really can't tell you how long the story is because I didn't play it straight through to just beat the story. I got sidetracked with missions and all that because I was having so much fun. But I can definitely say that you won't be disappointed in the length of the story. It's the right length to where you won't think that, man, that was too short, or I wish there was more of that. But yeah, the story is great. As for realistic, okay, aliens invade Earth after a gang leader becomes president. So take that with what you will. If that's going to be enough to get you not to play it, then you can just stop listening right now and watching because, sorry, that's how it is. But for the most part, given the way the Saints Row game is, given the way the Saints Row games are, that fits. It fits in this world. It gives them an excuse to do all the crazy things that they've done and that they do. Yeah, but yeah, I have a problem with the story. If it was in any other type of game, it probably wouldn't make any sense. But here, I think it fits. Okay, on to the design. When you're playing the game, you're in one of two areas. You're either walking around the ship, or you're inside of your simulation or other people's simulations whenever you're going to try to rescue them and bring them back.
Johnny! You made it! You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hold on. We're coming to get you.
Whoa, we? Who's we?
Thanks.
His journey finally over. Johnny Gat was once again able to hold Aisha in his arms. But the reunion was soon over, as the street tough remembered the tragedy that claimed his love so many years ago. Thanks for playing.
Don't worry, Paul. I'll pour one out for you.
Oh, that's right. Pop that top.
Let's make a monument.
Yeah, that's just kind of fucked up.
You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, can't wait to get back to Earth.
Right, forgot to tell you. Earth got blown up.
What?
When you're inside the simulation, you have the ability to acquire superpowers. And you do story missions and side missions to further enhance those superpowers. You get rewards that will enhance those, or you get money or things, different unlocks that help you out whenever you're inside of it. You collect what are called glyphs, and you use these glyphs to upgrade your powers once they're unlocked. You can get different types or different kinds, different variations of ones that you unlock throughout the story. All right, and whenever you're outside of the simulation, like I mentioned before, you're going around and talking to your crewmates. You have to talk to them to start missions. You'll start it, and then you'll go back inside, and there's things that they want you to do, which usually end up being just a group of the side missions that are already available that you need to do, ones that you haven't done so far. Like you can do the fraud side mission, which is you throwing yourself into cars and onto buildings in order to see how much damage you'd rack up, which is pretty fun, actually.
Don't deny. This ain't bad. This is gonna hurt. Move faster!
There's also something called mind over murder, where you have to use your telekinesis powers to throw either people, vehicles, or other objects into the specific type of the specific colored circle in which they belong to get points in a certain area, and then you'll move on to another area.
But now that you mention it, let's talk about the second.
Well, I imagine it's not easy for them knowing that they're responsible for the deaths of billions of people through their hubris and what will ultimately be an unsuccessful bid to overtake Zinyak.
My thoughts exactly. Bringing about the near extinction of the human race is a heavy load to carry.
It sure is.
I feel dirty, Zach.
We're just the pawns of a megalomaniacal alien overlord, Bobby. It's not our fault. Let's get back to the action.
I'll remember this one.
But the missions you get from your friends are usually just a group of them, a series of those type missions that you have to do. So that's a good way for you to get ones that you haven't done already, and then also get a reward from them, and you'll also be completing those side missions that you normally or may not have went and done on your own. While you're on the ship walking around, other than getting missions, you can have character interactions along the lines of Mass Effect. You can choose to romance the characters, but a lot of them are just they're funny, but they don't go too far or anything. They're there. You don't have to do them unless you just want to get the trophy for it.
Can I help you?
No. Well, yes, it's... Sorry, this is a little awkward.
It's okay. Say what's on your mind.
I don't know if I can.
You never know if you can have something unless you ask for it.
I don't want things to change between us.
Things won't change. We're professionals.
You'll see me differently.
Just shut up and say it.
Can you sign my copy of your book?
Sure.
But they're there. You don't have to do them, but you can. Due to the fact that you get your superpowers fairly early into the game, like a little while after you get the car and vehicle tutorial, you know, when you go to the place where you can customize and they show you all that, and you're like, cool, yeah. But then you get your superpowers and you don't really have a need for it. You get your super sprint and your super jump, and then you get the ability to walk up walls and jump up walls. So you don't need that. It really is a waste. They put all that effort into the vehicles and all that, but once you get your superpowers, you pretty much won't do it unless you're doing one of the missions where you have to deliver a vehicle, steal a vehicle and deliver it to a certain point. Then other than that, you won't be using it, which is a waste because they have some pretty cool vehicles, and the driving is what you expect. It's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Although you won't be using it as much unless you just like doing that. You can listen to your music even if you're not inside of a vehicle, which is cool because you won't be, like I said, but it's there if you want to do so. I did see there was a few times whenever there were like some, not frame rate issues, but I dropped through the screen. That happened once or twice, but nothing really big that would break the game. Nothing happened that made me have to reset or anything. But there were some technical issues that I saw, but nothing game breaking, like I said. On to the gameplay. In Saints Row 4 Reelected, you have several weapon types. You have your handguns, your shotguns, SMGs, rifles, and your rocket launchers, you know, your typical stuff. But you also have a special weapon slot, which you can fill with your choice. There's several different types. You have, for example, the dubstep gun, which proves that music can indeed hurt.
I always win my arguments.
And you also have something called the abduction gun, where you just point it at a spot where there are enemies and they get taken up to the sky, just like they would if they were being abducted. Yeah, that's Saints Row for you.
I'm up for more.
Now, your superpowers that you have, you get these as the story progresses. You get them from defeating wardens, which are guardians of certain areas that you, whenever you go to clear an area full of enemies, a warden will show up, and once you take him down, you acquire one of the abilities that he has been using on you, and you take it permanently. There are wardens all over, but there are only 4 story-based ones that you get powers from. You'll know when you're doing it, but you can go and clear out sections, or if you just accumulate too much notoriety, then once you get full, then the warden comes and you can take him down. But you don't get any powers from him, only the ones that appear whenever you're doing a story mission. You have different types of superpowers, and with each one, there are different variations. For example, the first one you get is your blast superpower, and you're able to throw blasts that cause huge explosions.
I always win my arguments.
Or ones that do fire. Or ones that do ice damage. And so on. There's a couple more types that I won't spoil. But you get that for example, yes, and I mentioned earlier telekinesis. You get that as well, and you get variations on that, where you can get life steal, where you can pick up enemies and you drain their energy into yourself if you need energy. You can do the same thing and get money.
That went well.
Yeah, those are just a couple of examples. I'm not going to spoil the other ones because they're pretty cool and I want you to find them out for yourself. I mentioned that Saints Row 4 Reelected comes with 2 DLC that were released on last gen, on PS3. They are How the Saints Save Christmas and Enter the Dominatrix. How the Saints Save Christmas is a 3 to 4 episode DLC showing how you, being a leader, didn't really have Christmas growing up, so you don't know anything about the Christmas spirit. You don't have it. Everyone else is decorating for Christmas, and you're just not into it. And Shandi comes from the future and says that y'all have to stop Claus, which is Santa Claus, who he turned evil and is gonna destroy the world. Once again, Saints Row, I know. But the premise, yeah, do with it what you will. But the point, the missions that you do, I like a lot. It's like 3 or 4. It's not terribly long. It's great for a DLC. I recommend picking it up. And then there's Enter the Dominatrix, which is a little bit longer. It's a different take on the events that happen in Saints Row 4. Just giving you a reason to play different situations and scenarios. Still the same type of gameplay, but you have to take down this AI, which became self-aware once you defeated Zinniac and took down his simulation. Therefore, he wasn't in control. So this was able to take control, and it's in the form of a dominatrix. What are you gonna do? But I liked it okay. I liked how the Saints Saved Christmas more, just because it had a goofy holiday feel to it. If I played it around Christmas time, I think it would really be pretty fun, because just that's what it's meant for. That's about as festive as you're gonna get out of Saints Row right there. But I recommend How the Saints Saved Christmas and Enter the Dominatrix. For it being bundled in, I probably wouldn't have bought it on its own. But since it was bundled in with this, I didn't have a problem with it. Those two add to the rest of the game as well, and make it not bad. It's pretty good. I think it added to the content pretty well. In conclusion, in case it hasn't came across like this, I really like this game a lot. Funny story, actually. Like I said earlier, I haven't played Saints Row 1 or 2, and I probably wouldn't have played 3 at all if it hadn't been free on PlayStation Plus a while back. That's how I ended up playing like small amount of time that I did. And when Saints Row 4 Reelected came out, I put it on my GameFly list just because, if it came around, if I was just in the mood, I'd get it. And I got it. I was like, okay, whatever. And I kept it, and I had it for like about a week, maybe even 2 weeks, and I hadn't even played it, didn't even open it. And I was about to send it back. I was like, well, okay, I'm not gonna do this. So I was gonna send it back, and then before I went out the door, I thought, like, it's not like me. I can't take it back. I can't send it back if I haven't even played it. That's not like me at all. To at least play the game, at least give it a chance. And I played it, and right after the opening scene, man, it had me. I was like, okay, I gotta see what this is about. And the superpowers are great. If there is another Saints Row game, I may not be able to play it because I'm so hooked on the gameplay with this one and the superpowers that it has. I know that the next one won't have it, of course, because it won't make any sense. But I may give it a try. But based on the way that this game is, I love everything about it. I love the superpowers. I love the crazy weapons. I love the missions. I love the characters. I like how it doesn't take itself seriously. It's not afraid to be goofy, crazy, and just do things you wouldn't expect. And most of all, I love that it makes me laugh. That's one of the biggest selling points. It makes me laugh. So I'm constantly laughing. I didn't know what was going to happen, and it's still fun to play after you've beaten it. There's plenty to do. The side missions don't seem like a grind. They're actually fun, with the exception of Blazing, which is one where you run to collect orbs of light. Not too much a fan of that, but there's plenty of other ones. Like there's a hacking mini game where you have to hack stores in order to get them and they become under your control after a certain point. That's hit or miss. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can't. But those aside, the other side missions are pretty fun. I really like it. The character customization is crazy. You can customize like almost everything, like everything in your face, your lip size, this section of your lip size, and all that. The length, the width, your eyes. Like for a game of this kind to have a character creation like that is great, and it's awesome. I like it. If there was anything I didn't like about it, I mentioned earlier that there were some technical problems. I did actually. I'm correcting myself from earlier. I did have the game freeze up like 2 or 3 times, but out of the amount of times that I did play it, that's just very small, very small. And I can't think of anything else that I didn't like about it. There was a couple of frame issues, like I said, dropping out and all that, but nothing big enough to change my idea and opinion about it. Nothing at all. And with having two DLC added into it as well, both of them being pretty decent, that I would love to go play again. Yeah. Oh, also, I can't believe this. Those two DLC as well, but it also comes with a standalone DLC called Get Out of Hell. I can't believe I almost forgot about this, guys. There's a standalone DLC called Get Out of Hell where you play Johnny Gat and you're trying to rescue the leader of the Saints who gets taken to hell to become Satan's daughter's husband or wife. It's 2015. But yeah, I cannot comment on the entirety of that as far as story goes, but the gameplay is just like Saints Row 4, except for you get powers as well, but you have wings instead. As far as size goes, it's not as big as a normal city, but it's big enough. I know I got kind of off track right there, but I forgot about that. Sorry, guys. And like I said, it's standalone, so you don't have to have Saints Row 4 Reelected to play it, but it does come with it. So now, the super cool game, all this content, all the playability. It's a decently long story, so much to do, all the content, 2 DLCs, 1 standalone DLC, and it wasn't even a full price game. It's a discounted price game, like 30, 35, maybe 40. I paid like a little over 30 for it because after playing it on, from GameFly, I had to buy it because there's no way I was going to be able to complete everything that was in the game, nor was I going to rush myself to get done with it. So I had to go ahead and buy it. I recommend you do the same. If I had to rate it 1 out of 10, I think I would give it a 9. Nearsighted Gamer gives Saints Row 4 Reelected a 9. So if what you've heard here is interesting enough, go check it out for sure. It's definitely worth it. You won't be disappointed. Till next time, guys.